ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm the Gnarly Gnomon. Technically speaking, lots of technical difficulties this week, as sometimes just happens on this show that is not a show. It's the Weekly Pint. Welcome back. I am all kinds of out of sorts because of that. Not only is the show starting late, once we started, all kinds of stuff wasn't working. Hopefully, we are back and operating exactly how things are supposed to. If something looks or does not sound right, please tell me, because I'm looking at way too many things to actually know what's going on right now. Welcome back, guys. I was so busy getting these drinks together that I wanted to drink tonight that I completely neglected the thing that we start every episode off with, and that is the schnappening. I didn't, not completely. So I have a bottle sitting here, but it just so happens to be the exact same bottle from last week. And I'm not feeling as festive this week as I was last week. So I don't know how we're going to handle this one. It's all right. It's schnapps. It's like my favorite schnapps. So we're going to drink it again. Why not? This is Voltage Peppermint Schnapps. And it's not Christmassy. That needs to be clear right off the bat. It's just pepperminty. It's just delicious and pepperminty. The whole room now smells like peppermint. Because this is a happy hour, an excuse for us to drink together, as you jump on the stream, please tell me what it is that you happen to be drinking. Put that on camera. I do have a side beer, too. You'll understand why in a little bit. Let's see. I have to scroll backwards here. All right, we'll get this figured out here. It smells like elves live in my basement right now. Let's see. Christine having a Pepsi Max. I don't think I've ever had a Pepsi Max. Even on the soda kick that I've been on lately, I have not had a Pepsi Max. Let's see. Marco's having a fresh hop IPA from Sierra Nevada. That is always a good choice. Josh with a third IPA, also a good choice. Julia having cold brew coffee stout from Sam Adams. That sounds delicious. Chris is drinking an old fashioned. That's way more seasonally appropriate than peppermint schnapps. An old fashioned sounds good tonight. Marco says, I did have a new winter white from Sam Adams a few minutes ago. Eric says, I've got a goggle fogger. Sounded so good when he mentioned it last week. And oh man, it was. That beer was great. I don't even know if I'm going to get to. I can. I have beer in the fridge, of course, that we could drink on this show, but I have other things that I want to talk about. In the meantime, to not being ready for Christmas or the Christmas season. Yeah, it's. I say it every time. It smells like somebody liquefied candy canes and shoved them in a little glass. Prost. Oh, it's so good. It's so like nostalgic, and it just makes me happy. That makes me feel a little better, a little more in sorts, a little more with it. Which is good, because I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to get completely off track with the things that I'm drinking, because I have a ton of stuff that I want to cover. Also, I had to move my notes because one of my screens isn't working the way it's supposed to, so I'm reading notes off of the iPad, which is always more difficult than just having it there. Whatever. We will we'll figure this out. Should we? Okay. Here's the question. Should I tell you all of the things I'm going to drink? Because it's, yeah. All right. We're going to start with that. Before we jump into our first topic, I'm going to tell you what's going to be in my glass throughout this episode, because it's a variety pack. These popped in my, not these specifically, the press release about these, I should say, popped in my inbox this summer. This is the Casamigos. I can't even figure out which one's not. There we go. Casamigos Tequila RTD Margarita Variety Pack. Casamigos has gone through all kinds of fun chaos this summer. In the middle of it, they released these little cans of margaritas. And if they weren't going through all of the chaos that they were going through, I think these would have gotten a little more attention and a little more respect. Not even respect. It was just a little more attention is the best way to put it. Everybody kind of ignored it because they were distracted by this whole is it really tequila thing that's been happening. We have 4 different flavors, and some of them sound delicious, and some of them sound like I just don't care about them. But I figured I should try all 4 just to be fair, because I'm kind of like a scientist, and I think that's the way you're supposed to do it. Let's see. This first one here, this is Casamigos Margarita with guava and hibiscus. Yeah, I don't really care about that one too much. Oh, they have numbers on them. Maybe I should drink them in order. This is cocktail number 2. I swear it's got numbers on it. I don't know why it has numbers on it. But right there, it says cocktail number 2. So we have guava hibiscus. Cocktail number 1, obviously, we have the classic lime. We'll start off with that one because that makes sense. You know, since I'm a scientist, I like to make things make sense. This would be number 3 then, I'm assuming. Yep. This is passion fruit and prickly pear. Okay, that sounds fine. And then this one does sound pretty good. This is strawberry and Colima lime. I don't even know what a Colima lime is, but I like strawberries. So this is probably pretty good. Marco says, not 100% blue agave, but in a cocktail. Should it matter as much? Yes, truth in marketing, but the dilution then becomes diluted. Chris moved on to Esther's Little Secret Double Fudge Cream Stout from 2020. It wasn't just 100% blue agave. The Casamigos lawsuit is that I believe that they were wrapped in this lawsuit. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. That they were putting like rum or like grain neutral spirits or something in here. Not specifically in these, but in Casamigos in general. So these, and still calling it tequila, I think was the hubbub, I believe. Okay, we're gonna dive into them. Christine says it's so you can know if it's the end of the month. 1 for every week. One can for every week. Is that what we're talking? I don't know. No, I don't. What are we talking about? I don't know. The delay between the chat and the okay. I'm just going to drink one. How about that? All right, we're going to move these off camera. We'll just put them back here so they look good. This is why I'm drinking a side beer, because depending on how good these are, this might consume all of my drinking during the show. If they're terrible, we'll get through them quick, but okay, these are all 10% ABV. That does say that on there. Although, if we don't trust that it's actually tequila in here, how much do we trust that the little text on the can down here is accurate? I don't know that we trust anything. Oh. It says it's a margarita made with tequila blanco and triple sec liqueur. Okay. That's the description. That's all it says. There's more on the back. Okay. It says made with tequila blanco, distilled in Jalisco, Mexico. Cocktail number 1. And then it's got instructions. They actually call them instructions. Okay. Instructions. And it says, if I can read it off of my screen since I'm not looking at it. Casamigos margarita is best served ice cold. Chill, open, and enjoy. It doesn't tell me if I'm supposed to put it in a glass or if I'm supposed to just drink it out of the can. RTDs, in my opinion, should be designed most of the time to just drink out of the can. Marco says, actually, I trust the ABV. I don't trust that it's pure tequila. We'll see on all fronts here what we're looking at. I got a glass, and just to mess with every purist out there, I just grabbed a rocks glass, and not only did I grab a rocks glass, I grabbed a Woodford Reserve rocks glass. How about that? To put my margarita in. Marcus says, drink it from a fishbowl. I don't know that I have a tiny fishbowl. I might somewhere, actually. Chris says, is it even really Casamigos? Supposedly. Supposedly it is. Color-wise, it does look like a margarita. These are not carbonated, which I appreciate because a margarita should not be carbonated. And so we've got all of these weird canned cocktail margaritas that are fizzy. And I don't understand that. I don't know why we're doing that. I don't know who wants that or what that has to do with an actual margarita. The last canned margaritas that I tried on this show or on anything, the last canned margaritas that I purchased, I don't think it was on this show. I think it was like just a short video, was Cayman Jacked, and they were terrible. So hopefully this is better. Hopefully it doesn't taste like peppermint schnapps. It might. Here, let's cleanse the palate with our side beer. Shout out to Tank Mansfield for the Kneel to No One glass. This is I found this hiding under the bar. Old school. Okay, palate is cleansed with an IPA. All right. Okay. All right. This is definitely smells better than Cayman Jacked. But it does still kind of, it smells like fake syrupy lime. That is interesting that on here, okay. It says nothing about actual limes on this can. Okay, this is important. It says it's a margarita made with tequila blanco and triple sec liqueur. The flavor descriptor on the little banner here is that it is, and I quote, natural flavors of classic lime. So yeah, this is not even, there's not real lime in here. It's okay. It's fine. Let's see. Marcus says, Tank had a glass and I didn't get it. Tank had 2 glasses, I believe, and I only got one of them. All right. The lime. This is not going to be good. I can tell you right now. This is not. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. In fact, we'll keep drinking that. I'm gonna actually, I'll do a little bit more, but we gotta save some because we're gonna cuvee them when we're done, right? That's what you do with a variety pack. Okay, all right, that's not bad. Which one was number 2? This one was number 2. We'll get ready for that. But first, we have to jump into an actual topic. We got to talk about things. Are we frozen? Brian says we frozen. I don't think we're frozen. Okay, we're back. We're back. Is that what Marco was saying? 2-2? Did we get stuck on something? I don't know. Okay, let's jump over. Maybe it's Casamigos jumping in, trying to shut me down if I'm going to talk bad about their margaritas. Okay, audio never cut out. That's good. The big topic of the night, or the big topic of um, the previous few months, and the big topic of the next year, maybe, weed water. Is weed water gone? You like my little graphic? My gnome, he's sad. That's the government loading weed water into the back of a truck to go be destroyed. So I made a brief little short video trying to kind of break down what's going on with this whole weed water thing. And the biggest thing that we need to know right now is that, yes, in this bill that gets the government back operational, which it is. In fact, new labels started coming through the TTB today, or I guess maybe even this weekend sometime. I don't know. But they're coming through. So things are moving again. However, in that bill, good old Mitch McConnell put his stamp on it by wording in there that that hemp is now going to be redefined. And I know that a lot of people online have been talking about the fact that Mitch McConnell has taken almost $1 million from the alcohol lobby. We have to talk about that because as much as it's not inaccurate, it's not inaccurate at all. He has taken $1 million, almost $1 million. It's like a little under $900,000 from the alcohol lobby system. That's in his entire career. That number is over the last 34 years, which is still not insignificant. That's something like it's under $30,000 a year, something like that he gets from the alcohol lobby. I don't know how to word it. Like, I want to say that's not crazy. It is kind of crazy, but it's not crazy either. So the alcohol lobby puts in something like $5 million a year to what I call grease palms every single year. That's over the 500 and something members of Congress. So yeah, it's about, if you average that out, it's about 3 times the average, but he's also in Kentucky. So, of course, people in Kentucky are going to be, the lobbyists are spending more money in Kentucky than they are in Nebraska. So I don't know. I don't think that is the story that people want it to be, that big alcohol or the bourbon lobbyists or whatever are trying to destroy weed water. I don't think that's it. Julia says elected officials should not be allowed to take any money outside of their government salaries while they are in office. It won't change corruption. You cannot. There is no way at this point that we can stop our government from being corrupt. The more to exactly, but there is no national hemp lobbying group as far as I know. That's the big difference. The thing that I don't know that we can stop corruption in our government. The thing that I think we may be able to control at some point somehow is to finally get the government to listen to the people. I think. I don't know how that happens. I don't know how many letters we can send to our congressmen before they finally get the point. How loud we can be online. I don't know. But we have to be loud, and I know that. So right now, even if you're not like a weed, and I've been things that have not yet been released, and this is one of them. I'm going to show the can for just a moment, just in case I'm not supposed to talk about it yet, and you guys can make your own decisions about what this is. That's all we're gonna say. That's all we're gonna do. You can figure that out. Are we Marcus says we're frozen. Are we really frozen again? I am not seeing anything on my end. I don't know why our video would be frozen. Unless we have something wrong here. Nope. Don't know, guys. Of course. Why not? Why not when technical difficulties everywhere? Let's see what's... did I freeze again? Okay, we're going to... This might be dumb. All right, if my internet goes out... Okay. Now it's back. But did the stream cut out? All right. Are we there? I hate this crap. You guys tell me if I'm here now. And then we'll readjust. In the meantime, I'll crack open another margarita. I'm ringing. That's not a good sign. In theory, you're on the Weekly Pint. Who is this?
What's up, buddy? It's Marco. How you doing?
What's up, dude? So,
so you were frozen for like intermittently, and I felt like it was an important topic. So I thought, let me call in and see if
do you have
anything changes.
Can you see the stream still pulled up somewhere, or did you turn it off to call?
Yeah, I got you. I got you, buddy.
Am I currently there? Am I moving?
Yeah, you're currently there and moving.
Okay, good.
You're currently there and moving.
Okay, all right. Then I'm crack open another margarita to celebrate. Maybe we fixed it. Maybe we fixed it together.
Let's celebrate together. I just cracked open a Sierra Nevada Fresh Hop IPA. So I had a mix pack of the same Celebration Fresh Hop IPA. So let's crack that open. Let's talk about it. So so this weed water thing. I mean, not my thing, but I totally support the fact that this should be a legal product for our industry to make.
Right.
They are following the right regulations. We are as an industry wanting to do it correctly. We want to do it through the distributors. We want to have warnings on the packages. We want to make sure retailers are selling it to the right people. This was put on there. This wasn't snuck in. This was purposely put in. This industry is a large industry and growing. This was put in there on purpose to either stifle or to stimulate a change. And I hope it's for the latter, not for the former. We have a year before this goes into effect.
Right.
And however, does anybody know, or have you read anything where we can actually affect change prior to the actual the hard date from the federal government?
I have not heard anything, and I don't understand how government works. I don't know if a whole entire other bill has to then just kind of be passed that just nullifies what this bill passed in that language. I assume that's what has to happen. It's just another bill then that then redefines hemp again. I think that's my understanding of it.
Sounds like we need to have Bobby on in a few weeks from now after maybe some of this, this wording can be sifted through from lawyers and all that. And
we need to have,
because he's super passionate, and he seems to be super informed, and seems to be just a positive spin on everything that a lot of ways can be taken in a negative tone.
I think maybe, and I'm just proposing this, and I have not talked to anybody, but maybe we need a panel show, a live panel show with
love it.
People from each of the local weed water companies, and really kind of dive into this, and we all get high together.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's great. That's an awesome idea. That's fantastic.
Let me try this.
How's the margarita?
I haven't tried it yet. This is the this is cocktail number 2. This is the guava and
all right. Well,
hibiscus.
you try that. You try that, and then I'm going to try my next sampling of the Sierra Nevada Fresh Hop IPA afterward.
This definitely smells like guava. There's been my margarita. I don't think guava belongs in.
Yeah, a lot of guava. Well,
guava and floral.
I am experiencing some loading issues with the show at the moment. Or I'm sorry, not a show, with the happy hour.
Okay, so it doesn't taste overpowering, but it definitely smells overpowering. I don't.
Gotcha.
I don't hate it. Same as the other one. I don't hate it, but I also don't really love it. So I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Okay. I recognize we're dropping a little signal here, guys. So if it stutters video wise, I'm sorry. Audio should hang in there, I think.
So if you were to equate the guava to, let's say, a Thanksgiving meal accoutrement, whether it's a main, a side, or a starter, you love it, but you don't have to have it. Like, what would it be? Would it be like the some of the pieces of charcuterie boards? Maybe a Jello salad, or what would it be in terms of, as we approach the Thanksgiving holiday? What would you equate it to?
That's a good question, and it might be controversial. My answer, it's the cranberry sauce of Thanksgiving.
What?
I don't think you need cranberry sauce at all. I think it's useless. Everybody always gets the jellied cranberry sauce, like that's in a can, and it just sits on a little plate just in can shape, and they chop it up. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. I don't need guava in my life. That's what I'm saying.
Have you had fresh cranberry sauce?
I have, and that's different. That's a little different situation, but that's never what we're served.
So you are saying there's a delineation where if you have a craft cranberry sauce,
sure,
you have a little bit more. You're more welcoming. You have a little bit more of a acceptance of a craft cranberry sauce.
Sure, craft a guava hibiscus margarita that I would appreciate more than this one, but this one just kind of it's not very great.
I bet you could create a guava hibiscus cranberry sauce that you would love.
Possibly. Possibly. Let me jump back to a couple of these comments, and we can get back on the weed water thing. Let's see.
Okay.
Chris says yes, it's been signed, so we need to have another bill to pass unless the judicial steps are in there. Okay. Ryan says the government.
I appreciate.
The government just isn't making enough money in the weed water industry, so they need to meddle until that changes. 100%. It's not. That's part of it. I mean, yes, they need to make their tax revenue off of weed water, and they're not. And that's one piece of it. We also do need to figure out this idea that as of right now, there is no legal steps in place that make it illegal for a child to go and buy weed water. There is no legal.
What?
There's no gate there. Like that doesn't exist.
Okay. All right. You're right.
And it needs to exist.
But who's doing that?
That's not the point. That's not the point. The legal.
No, I get it.
The legal gate
totally
has to be there.
It needs to be defined.
Yes.
It needs to be defined, and that's fine.
It's not an emergency. It doesn't need everything to be blown up and destroyed and the entire industry to be banned. but we need to figure out some kind of legal way to define these terms and figure it all out. So yes, it's about money, it's about tax money, but that's not the whole thing. Julia says that the problem is that this was snuck into a bill that had nothing to do with hemp, so it would have to be a whole new bill, or somehow this one would have to be rewritten with the hemp line removed. It would just have to be a whole new bill redefining hemp itself. That would be fine. I think that would still work just fine. Let's see. We're now arguing about cranberry sauce, never jellied, canned cranberry. Cranberries are the best part of Thanksgiving. No way. Turkey is the best part, followed closely by mashed potatoes. That's my.
Oh my goodness!
I love mashed potatoes.
That's your hot take.
That's my hot take.
Fiery hot take right there.
Turkey and then mashed potatoes.
Okay. Well, I think the natural follow-up question is, what method are you using to cook your turkey, and explain what these best ever mashed potatoes are, because I think all your viewers and listeners might be ready to come to blows.
Okay, so I don't make the mashed potatoes. I'm going to put that out there first. No, I'm not a mashed potato guy. I mean, I am a mashed potato guy. I don't make the mashed potatoes.
I've never looked at you and said you're a mashed potato guy.
Okay.
Just letting you know.
However, my turkey, I'm the meat guy. I do the meat. And my turkey for Thanksgiving is smoked.
Heard that about you.
That is not the only way that you can prepare a turkey and have it be proper Thanksgiving turkey. Just cook it good.
No, but
just cook it so that it's not dry.
But I imagine you don't just defrost a turkey and then just plop it on the smoker.
No.
So take me through your regimen.
It really isn't that crazy. So I take my turkey, I defrost him. I'm not buying a fresh turkey, so he's already brined from Butterball or whoever grew my turkey that year, whoever raised them and then slaughtered them and sent them to their death.
Wait a minute. So you're trusting the actual turkey to be brined already.
Yes. So I'm not brining my turkey.
But that's a hot take. Okay. That's a hot take.
Taking my defrosted turkey, I'm opening up those legs and I'm shoving his butthole or his head. I don't know. I guess it's his butthole. I don't know what side it is, but I'm shoving it full of apples. I chop up some apples, shove them in there. All of my standard turkey roasting herbs. So your parsley, sage, all of that shit. It's all going in there. I'm shoving it all right in his bunghole, stuffing him full, and then some butter, shoving some butter in there, and then throwing him on the smoker. And then every 20 minutes or so, I'm going in there and I'm sucking up some more butter and just hitting that skin with butter the whole time.
So we doing what are we doing? Applewood, chicory, hickory.
Usually apple or pecan, either way. Just depends. Depends what's already ready to go.
By the way, is pecans are what truck drivers use?
Well, Ryan says we started making Geta stuffing 2 years ago, and I will never have a Thanksgiving without it now. Okay, I can get behind that too. That sounds great. Geta stuffing. I've never even thought to do that. We've definitely made sausage stuffing plenty of times, but I've never thought to put Geta in it. Oh my God.
That sounds wonderful.
I'm going to submit that. I don't know if I'll get approval.
That sounds wonderful. All right. Well, let's go back, not to derail from the mashed potatoes. So
I don't know anything about how she makes mashed potatoes. Yeah.
Who is she? Family member?
My wife. Yeah, my wife. My wife makes potatoes. I make the meat.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know how she does it, but they're good. I actually,
she could,
you know what?
She could post a YouTube video at any point, or a TikTok.
I'm not going to get picky about the potatoes. I'm actually, I've had very mediocre instant potatoes that were okay. I don't know that I want that. I don't know that I want that for Thanksgiving.
Name them.
I don't know.
Name them.
How am I going to? I don't know. I don't do the potatoes. I just told you that.
Okay.
It's fine. Potatoes are a vehicle for the other things on your plate.
Okay, very good.
I think that's my favorite thing about Thanksgiving. And this is not our Thanksgiving show. That's next week.
We're gonna do it. All right, awesome.
We'll do this again.
And then Truth Beer Pod's gonna come out with a video, which is going to help everyone who is looking for great recommendations for beer, wine, and cocktails for your Christmas event. Follow Truth Beer Pod, go and like and subscribe and all that. Sorry, no, shameless plug.
No, of course.
The other thing I'm gonna say is that there's some really cool videos out for Sam Adams' 7th anniversary. Julia and Josh got to go out and have some fantastic utopias.
Heck yeah.
And I just want to say thank you, Zach Colley, for actually making Sam Adams aware that we make content. And so once they knew we made content, they invited us, and which was great. I unfortunately couldn't make it. I had to go out of town for something important as far as a personal matter. But I'm back. I'm in town. Julie and I are going to be back at it, recording at Higher Gravity Summit Park tomorrow, as we always do. I think you usually join us. However, I think for the holiday season, you have a lot of obligations, which is fantastic. And what I would say is that everybody should go like and subscribe Truth Beer Pod so that you can get everything that we have going on with tasting videos, our main content, as well as all of the stuff that we're going to be putting out for the holiday season. So having said that, Noam, I am going to hop off here.
All right.
I will finish. I will continue watching and, love the content, love Voltage, and let's continue having margaritas. And I will continue sampling this Sierra Nevada Celebration Fresh Hop IPA sampler pack.
You let us know if any of the beers in the sampler pack change.
I will let you know.
They are fresh hops after all. Who knows? I don't know how that works.
Yeah, they are fresh hops. They are fresh hops.
Maybe one hop will be different.
Possibly. Yeah. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, dude.
Bye.
So, weed water. Getting back to weed water. We'll talk about Thanksgiving next week. I think that things will be okay. I think that the good news, as we talked about a little bit ago, is that obviously there's a year for things to settle, and then for some kind of smart, well thought out legislation can be put into place that can then make this whole thing actually the way we want it to be. The industry will not be destroyed. The local breweries that are making it will be able to keep making it. I'm remaining optimistic about it. That's where I'm at. Which one of these is cocktail number 3? Not that one. It's this one. Passion fruit prickly pear. This is cocktail number 3. This is a margarita made with tequila blanco and triple sec. They're all the same thing. They're all just a margarita made with tequila blanco and triple sec liqueur. It's, I guess, the natural flavors thrown into everything. What are we even doing? I mean, it's kind of the thing that I just wish that they were more more tequila forward. Like they taste like a better version of like a crappy margarita that you would get at a mediocre Mexican restaurant. Julia says this one looks like pee. Hopefully it doesn't taste like pee. I guess that's what prickly pears look like. It matches the can. Prickly pear is like that's not actually like a fruit, right? Like, aren't they like flowers or something? Prickly pear. Am I making that up? It smells like it does. Maybe it's in my head, but it smells like pears. It doesn't smell prickly though. Okay. That's again, it's fine. It just tastes like it's almost like they taste a little watered down, which I guess 10%. What's a actual margarita? Like, how does that math work out? I don't know. Steve says Ohio can't get on board with the distribution legislation that makes sense, so I'm not as confident as you that they will figure weed water out. I don't think they want to. I think they're discouraging challenges to status quo. Yes. So that's Ohio. Ohio, and then the federal legislation is very interesting how it'll kind of break out. I don't know. I'm being positive. I think they'll figure it. Once they figure out that they can make money off of it, they'll be fine. Distribution. It seems crazy to me that we have spent this long, what are we, 100 plus years now from Prohibition, right around 100 years. And we built this, although fractured and maybe problematic in itself, system of alcohol distribution and the 3-tier system sometimes and not others. Like, there are problems with it, but we figured out how to get alcohol to people and how to get it to people that are old enough to drink alcohol for the most part, and how to keep it relatively safe. And we figured that out, and I don't know why we can't just let weed water exist in that same system. I don't know. Like, I feel like that's the easy solution to all of this. Just let it exist like alcohol. If figure out that number, that there's a debate there of how many milligrams per ounces, whatever, is a safe number. If it's under that number, you guys as a legislature decide, it can be distributed the same way beer is. If it's above that, it needs to be distributed the same way that that booze is. Like, it just seems so simple, and yet here we are with this impending ban as a country. We're better than this. Ryan says, according to AI, the average ABV of a margarita is 18 to 25%. That would make sense for how this tastes watered down. Marco says, Ask Jeeves is telling him that a margarita is between 5 and 10%. It doesn't help that this one smells like my grandma's perfume. Okay, we'll move on from the weed water thing because we'll have plenty of time to talk about that over the next year. Ryan says, "Who is asking Jeeves anything these days?" Marco. Marco is asking Jeeves. That is definitely a Marco thing. Okay, moving on. Hopefully my buttons are correct here. Oh yeah, Rogue. Rogue is closed. Marco says, this fresh hop IPA tastes just like the last one in his mix pack. Okay. Rogue. I find part of this shutdown, this closure, if we're calling it that right now, they have not admitted, I don't think, publicly that they're closing, but we're calling it that. There's a part of it that is a little bit of a surprise to me, but a much bigger part that is not. I sat and kind of worked through my thoughts a little bit, not as much as I probably should have, though. Steve says, I'm going to ask Dogpile if that still exists. Okay. Their Newport facility's closed anyways. So let's go through the stats about Rogue. They were founded in 1988. They are what is that considered? Second wave craft beer. So right after those kind of first generation guys got the industry kind of going here, they jumped in and started growing very fast and furiously, fast and furious, until as of now, they are distributed in all 50 states. They are the 50th largest craft brewery by sales volume in the country. So think that's around like Fatheads, around that size. Big brewery, very big brewery. They just abruptly, Friday, shut down their 47,000 square foot production facility, 3 satellite pubs, and then it came out this weekend that they currently owe $545,000 in back rent and more than $30,000 in property taxes. So it's not looking great. I'm reading through some of my notes. I have all these notes about their beard beer they did a while back. I don't know why that's in these notes, but it's there. All right, my thoughts on all this. I kind of broke it into a couple different things that I think about when I read a story like this. So number one, legacy doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter how long you've been around. It doesn't matter what you've done, who you are. None of that matters, especially in the alcohol industry right now. It doesn't matter. You have to keep doing things. You have to keep reestablishing that legacy, and that's all that people care about. Strength matters. It doesn't matter what that strength is. It can be local strength, regional strength, or nationwide strength. You have to have strength in one of those. If you're going to be a nationwide brewery, you have to be a very strong nationwide brewery. If you're going to be a regional brewery, same thing. Local brewery, same thing. And who you are becomes very important. If we look back to like what was it like? When did Allagash pull back here locally and in lots of other places too? 15 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. So Allagash started growing very quickly and were poised to kind of start this nationwide distribution model. And they were smart enough to realize that they weren't doing it well and that they were kind of dropping the ball on things that maybe they shouldn't drop the ball on. So instead of like doubling down on where they were at that moment, they stopped. They pulled out of lots of states that they felt like they maybe didn't need to be in. One of those was Ohio, which was painful for us in Ohio. to lose Allagash, especially at that time. Like Allagash coming back to Ohio now is fun for a lot of us, but it doesn't really move the needle in craft beer today the way it did then. Allagash being here was a big deal back then. That was beer that you there was no other option for beer like that. Now we've got options that are as good, if not better, than those beers. That's my opinion. So they pulled back at the time that they needed to, and instead of then being like this lousy nationwide brewery, they were a strong regional brewery. That's maybe what Rogue should have done. Instead, Rogue shifted into lots of other industries. They opened their distillery. They opened a bunch of pubs, which again, fine. That's not a model that I'm against. They started figure out how they could meet the customer that they were looking for. I recognize that we're having internet issues. Sorry. Hopefully it's coming back. Chris says, do one thing, do it really well, then expand. Yeah, focus. That's the next thing on my list. Focus matters. This is the one that I struggle with the most, like trying to understand. I think that there is importance and there is something to being able to be flexible enough to do multiple things. I think that's important, so that if something does start to suffer as an industry, that you can shift into something else and kind of weather that storm. But if you at the same time, if you're a brewery, you still have to be able to make beer. And not that Rogue wasn't making good beer; they always made good beer, but they didn't really keep up with what was happening in beer. In my experience here in Ohio versus West Coast where they were, it was always just the same thing, and I don't know if that is part of it. I don't know. It's strange that they are not around or are not going to be around. It's again, I wouldn't call it shocking. I would just it just kind of sucks. Kind of like my internet today. It was fine all day. Like it was fine. Just now when I'm trying to make a freaking show. All right. The last of our variety pack of Casamigos. This one is strawberry and whatever Colima lime is. I don't feel free to Google away. I don't know what Colima lime is. We'll see if it tastes good. Okay, it is. If there's strawberry in here, there's like one per like 10 cans. It's very lightly pink. Oh man, see, I've gotten spoiled by places like Urban Artifact that make beers that are loaded with real strawberry. Like this is. Okay. Chris says, Rheingeist focused on their brand and their beer. They still have not opened tap rooms all over. That is a great example. I think Rheingeist is a really fun, good, and maybe scary, and I'll get to that in a second, example of kind of how I feel about this. Like, as Rheingeist grew to be the 23rd, 22nd, something like that, largest craft brewery in the country, as they went down that path, it was all beer focus. I mean, yes, they made other things. They had cider from almost day one. Bubbles was a huge success for them. And then when it wasn't, they kind of moved away from it and still stuck to the beer. They launched RG Bevs, and none of that really did much. The tea stuck around a little bit, and it still is around, I think. I'm pretty sure. You can still get the tea. The tea is great, by the way. But they never focused on it. So I would say yes, they focused on their brand and their beer until right now. And that's the scary part of this. Like, this is the first time that we've seen Rheingeist jump quickly, and I'm calling it quickly as a consumer. I know that it's not quickly. I know from the company side that they have put a lot of time and R&D and stuff into making these things and letting them be the right way to do this. Chris says, and they self-distribute a little bit. Not very much, actually. They do still self-distribute, but they have a lot of distributor partners. They with the NA stuff and then the weed water, they went fairly quickly on the NA beer. They went really fast on weed water when you look at kind of their past history of how quickly they've done things. Like, they never jumped on seltzer when seltzer was doing its thing. Even when they did the Cloud Harvest series and were working on the New England IPAs and trying to figure it out, they were slow about adopting that and putting them out there. So I Chris says, I'm assuming it's still fairly low risk with NA and Fuzzy. Yes. And as of right now, both of those are done through contract partners, which is maybe part of that kind of adoption to things. It's like they're not dumping a ton of money into it. I mean, they are, but they're not dumping money into the infrastructure to make those products. Chris says, I still have not found a seltzer I like. It depends to me what you consider a seltzer. So if you've got like a vodka RTD, I consider that a seltzer, and I think they taste good. If you're talking a malt-based seltzer, I don't know. It's fine. All right, I haven't tasted this one yet. Let's see. Oh. Okay. It's disappointing, but I do taste just a hint of the tequila there for a second. Okay. That's fine. I will pick my best of show just for you guys. Okay. Let's keep moving. I'm going to skip over what I was going to say as the third story cuz I've got more content coming out about that soon. Let's see. Chris says high noons are a waster of time. High noons are fine. They're just fine. Usually it's the flavor itself that I don't like with high noon. The actual seltzer base I think is clean and what it should be. All right. I think I'm hitting the right button here. Let's see. Yep. Okay. This is something I've been wanting to talk about. Is cask ale ready to return? Or is cask ale in the middle of a fun return to prominence? No, not prominence, because I don't think I don't think that's going to happen. But is cask ale returning? I say this because we're seeing locally a few places. So obviously, Narrow Path has had their beer engines, not technically cask ale, but beer engines going. Gravel Road built an actual. Well, they didn't build it; it was there. There's a little basement underneath the bar And so they down there, I guess that technically they built a little cellar, a little cellar temperature space for cask ale with beer engines that pump up through the floor. Really, really cool setup. If you haven't been to Gravel Road to see that, go there. And then more recently, Gilligan's has started doing Firkin Fridays, where they do a cask ale on a Friday. You have to tune into their social media for when they do it, because it's not every Friday right now. So like locally, we're starting to see little pieces of it. But if you start looking at kind of what I think drinkers are looking for right now, which is probably a much bigger discussion that we definitely don't have time for, especially with bad internet. This hits a lot of those things that I think that beer drinkers are just like craving right now. You've got the experience of a cask beer. Drinkers love experiences now, be it a beer dinner or whatever it is. Like we like experiences versus just going and sitting and having a beer. Especially, I think younger drinkers are just looking for more. Kind of going back to what we were talking about before with the NA stuff, people want lower alcohol beers, and a lot of these cask beers are lower alcohol, more easy drinking beers. On the easy drinking thing, people want something that doesn't fill them up. I think that that's part of why people are latching on to some of the beverages that they are versus beer. They feel like beer is going to fill them up quicker than they want to. And cask beer doesn't do that. The low carbonation is freaking great to just drink all night long. Chris said, when I was back in England in the 1990s, every little pub out in the country had cask ales and amazing ciders. I think that's even struggling in England right now, I think. The authenticity of it, I think, is a big thing. I think that right now people are struggling with this battle between what they can afford and what makes them feel good about where they're spending their money. And sometimes we want to spend money in one place, but it's too expensive, so we have to sacrifice some of the things that craft beer built in us, this idea that we can just go and spend money with. It's literally just a keg of beer with a spout stuck in it and a firkin, and like you see it coming out of there. That's a powerful thing for a drinker. It's like, oh, that's they made my beer, and there's my beer. Instead of going to like B-dubs and it's just some magic handle that pulls it out of some, keg back in the back or in the basement or wherever. There is something to that from a drinker's perspective. You feel more connected to it. You feel more connected to the product, I guess. It captures some kind of nostalgia for the older craft beer drinkers. Like, we remember when everybody had a cask beer. It was just, that was a thing that just happened. Like, every festival you went to, there was a firkin. Every decent brew pub, if there was a busy weekend, there was a cask of beer on. Like, it was just have bounced back and forth on it a little bit in recent years. Get more excited about it, and that's fun. And like I said, there's definitely places around here that are doing it. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the internet, and that's frustrating. Oh, that's man. Again, if I was in like a mediocre Mexican restaurant, I would be happy with that. But here I'm just not. All right, let's wrap things up since the internet's making me mad. Let's mark our calendars for some upcoming events. Obviously, we need to talk about Cincinnati Christkindl Market. Shout out to Cincinnati Christkindl Market for sponsoring this episode. And if you haven't heard, put this in your calendar. Black Friday, the Friday right after Thanksgiving, We are doing a live show. I say we. I will be doing a live show. You guys are invited, and you can help me make this show because it's live. So hang out with me. We'll drink some beers. We'll do some what I call winter drinking. There might be some beer pokers involved. There might be things that are mixed together. I don't know yet. I don't really know. We're gonna wing it. But we're in the middle of this holiday craft beer extravaganza that they're throwing down at Moorline at the Lager House. There's a bunch of really great beer, a bunch of local beer, other small local breweries here that will be sending some fun kind of wintry beers. So we're gonna kind of we're gonna make a good winter drinking experience out of it. They have a dome. If you know, you know. Come hang out down in the biggest gnome dome that has ever existed. Of course, right as the internet is crapping out again. I swear. If it's not one thing, it's something else. Come hang out with us. It's going to be a ton of fun, and I will I'll talk about it a lot more this next week before the next episode of the Weekly Pint, because it's going to be fun. It's going to be a ton of fun. Before we wrap things up completely, though, nobody should buy a variety pack without cuvéing the variety. So, in honor of Cincy Brew Dads, we will announce our best of show. If you were paying attention, you probably know which one I liked the best. I think that I'm just going classic lime, which is really boring, but I think it was the best one. All right, I'm going to try to keep this as even as possible. Try. Steve says video and audio have been fine. I'm glad, because I just see there's a little meter at the bottom of my screen that shows my internet signal, and it shows it dropping, and then it shows how many frames in theory are dropping from the stream. I think I messed up my math. I think we might. Okay. It gets a little wider at the top. It's okay. Judging by how much I drank of each one of them, my favorite was definitely the classic lime. That would be a more interesting way to measure. How much did I drink? All right, this is a very full glass of Cuvade Casamigos. Is it tequila? Nobody knows. This is the variety pack. Cheers, everybody. That's weird. There is like... what is that flavor? There is a memory there that I can't quite place. I mean, it's probably just some kind of art. It's probably like Kool-Aid, some kind of artificial flavor. It's not okay. It's not good. Okay, I don't know. Who's drinking this? I think, is it ass? No, it's not that bad. These, I think, retailed, it was like an 8-pack. I didn't pay this much. When these first debuted in stores, it was an 8-pack variety pack, so 2 of each can, for I think $20, and I don't think it's worth that. I don't think it's worth that even close. I don't think you should buy these. That's good. That's where we should go with it. You should not buy these. They're not good. I'm sorry, Casamigos. If you want to sponsor the show, I'll try them again and maybe it'll taste better. They won't. This is not good. I can make a better margarita with just tequila, 1 lime, and triple sec. Like, I just need fresh lime. And you don't need to do the weird flavors and stuff. Like, you're just trying too hard. In fact, maybe I will make myself a margarita after the show, and I'll post it, I don't know, somewhere tomorrow. We'll figure it out. Ryan says, if I want a cocktail, it will not come pre-made from a can. Okay. I can't wrap up the show yet. That's a hot take. I agree. Chris says, I can make a better one with gin. What would that be? So, gin, lime, triple sec. There is a cocktail there. I don't know what it's called though, but it's not a margarita. I agree that a better cocktail is always coming with fresh ingredients. There is room to make a good cocktail in a can. Like, that should be a thing, and we should be able to have that on the market. And it is on the market. I've had like canned cocktails that are as good as the fresh version of it is. Maybe none of them are as good as the fresh version. I don't know. But I've had good canned cocktails. In fact, I've got a video. I don't know when I'm going to post it. Maybe I'll try to make a point to get it edited and posted this week. I did try a canned cocktail recently that was pretty freaking good. It was dead on for what I want a canned cocktail to be, and I would pick it up and be happy with that as a cocktail. If I was sitting in a bar, all right, here we go. If I'm sitting in a bar and I have an option in front of me, and there's a bartender, and in one hand, they're like, okay, that's the same price that I'm going to make you fresh. I'm going fresh. And I think that that's kind of always the way I would go. But it's not because you can't make a good... I don't know. I'm confused now. Let's see. Chris says, Mike's Hard Lemonade. No. Upcoming events you guys should know about. I didn't get a chance to really dive into any of them. But make note for Dark Charge Day. That's coming up. Make note for Sonder Family Tradition release. That's coming up. In fact, on Dark Charge Day, there's the Builders event coming up. And if you guys know anything about me, you know that I always go to the Builders event, and then I always struggle not to like spill the news of what this year's Dark Charge release looks like. It's even harder because this year I already know a couple of them. I have been spoiled this year. I have seen the light, and oh, it is good. That is not a margarita. I don't. Who okays this? It says, "Yep, that tastes like a margarita." God, it's weird. Oh, it's so weird. Oh, we're ringing again. All right. Hey, you're on the Weekly Pint After Hours. Who are we talking to?
What's up, buddy? It's
What's
Marco
up, dude?
Again. So you are a spoiled person.
I am.
You have all this inside information on Dark Charge. which is great. Yeah, but the thing is, what people don't know is you put in the time, you put in the effort, you earned it.
Let me clarify too. Let me clarify. I buy my Dark Charge every year.
Yeah.
I spend hundreds of dollars to buy Dark Charge. I get sometimes, and this year is one of them, I get a little text message that says, hey, you want to see something cool? And it's a picture ahead of time of what they are. But I buy them. Just saying.
It's I mean, you range the gamut from sometimes people send you things to other times you paid your fee to be part of something. Yes. And this is something where you paid your fee to be part of something.
Yes.
And so, although, some other things aren't that case, this is that case.
I'm in the middle of writing an article about mug clubs and how much love I have for good mug clubs. And I started doing the math of how many mug clubs I'm actually a member of. And it's stupid. I think it's like 7 mug clubs this year that I'm paying to be a part of. And most of those mug clubs I will probably use maybe 3 times at the most. That's not a good use of anybody's money.
No.
No.
Not a good use. No.
But those are things that I do as a lover of Cincinnati beer. To be a part of something, and there's some people out there that don't get that.
Yeah. So but not only do you pay, but you've been there for a really long time. You've been a mug club member, or you've been a founder, for a really long time. So these things are just a long time coming as far as just inside information versus the fact that you're attending an event, that sort of thing. So the other thing is, I mean, for mug clubs and whatnot, for anybody who's thinking about it, if you have a great space that you love, I mean, get in there.
Yeah.
Get in there early.
That's the gist of the entire article that I'm writing.
Yeah. I mean,
support the places you love.
I was a mug club member, BC's Montgomery.
Yeah.
Clearly RIP. However, they extended their mug club members a 2-year membership once the brewery opened again. And so I'm still in the middle of, or at the tail end of, that mug club membership. And so my membership was so, I had so many years in. I mean, my membership renewal, when it comes up, in 2026, is going to be extremely nominal.
Yeah.
But everybody who comes up, later on is going to pay a lot larger fee than I am. And so I'm cool. I'm in that. But
that's the way it should be.
This one, the Dark Charge one, you pay your fee, you pay your dues, and you get a little inside information, or you get, because you're in some sort of founders club or whatever. I mean, that's it. You paid that, you earned that. And there are some other things that around the area that sometimes somebody sends you something or drops a box, but no, this is you just truly just being involved from the beginning, and that's really cool.
Well, and you don't have to be involved from the beginning. If you have that place that you love, that you go to frequently, and they've got some kind of mug club. Ryan said he took him too long to figure out we weren't saying mud gloves. Mug club. If they've got one, join it. It doesn't matter where they are. If you go there enough, just join their club. It always works out better for you as a consumer. And right now, everybody's trying to find ways to to cut back a little bit on spending, and like sometimes it's a freaking great deal. It's a great deal to go there and to get that mug, and you get a discount on certain days, and sometimes there's discounts on food and all kinds of cool shit. Like just join the club of the places that you go to a lot. Like article coming out soon at some point.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Oh, right, we're losing Julia. Oh, that means I'm going way too long. We'll wrap it up. Thanks,
right.
Marco.
All right. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers,
Bye.
dude. Listen, the thing that I keep saying recently and will keep saying for a while, support the places you love. Like that's what this is all about. It doesn't matter who they are, what they do, what product they make. Just support the places you love. Go there, spend money, be part of their club, whatever it is. Support the places you love. I appreciate you guys. Let me get an actual beer to drink. Here, let me kill this. Oh, why? It's not good. I appreciate all of you. I hope that every single one of you will come hang out where we're making whatever we make down at Cincinnati Christkindl Market on Black Friday. I think the show is technically going to be 7 p.m.-ish. We'll see. We'll see how things work out. But I hope you're there to hang out with us, not to, I don't know, make a show. That's not what it's about. I want us to have a group of people hanging out, having fun, having drinks together, celebrating what winter drinking is about, because it's about something bigger than just what's in your glass. And I hope you guys realize that. I know you do. If you're still hanging out with me with bad internet and weird margaritas, you get it. Cheers, guys. We will be back next week, and we'll do this again. By next week, we're going to have new music and video and things for the show, because we're going to get another copyright strike tonight because I'm not paying for this music. That's a thing that's happening right now, so don't tell anybody. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Cheers, everybody. I'm going to make a margarita after this, though. Here's the deal. If you want to see me right now make a margarita, you have to tune in on Patreon. It'll be available for everybody, free or paid, but you have to be a member of Patreon to see me explain how you can make a better margarita than this crap. And that will be the after show. Though, no, not really an after show. I don't know. It's a lot of work. I don't know. Tomorrow on Patreon.